abstract art and how it can help us, especially if you're going through physical or emotional problems. For the people who don't know me, hi, my name is Pranita Rao. I am a former dentist, a published author, an intuitive abstract artist, an energy worker, and an angelic healer. I thought that let's talk about abstract art first as to what is abstract art, because I know that there are a lot of people who are very curious about art, about abstract art, different types of art. And even if you're somebody who's never had has never visited an art workshop or worked with art, please know that it's a safe space to be here. You don't really have to be an expert to know about art. You don't need to be an expert to be here and just listen. Because I started off as somebody who had no clue about art, let alone abstract art. And I never ever would have thought when I was in my 20s, now I'm in my 30s, that I would ever be an artist. Um, I never thought that I was creative, and I always doubted the creative part of me. And for me, being an artist was like a no no. There was this huge part of me that would always deny that. And which is why, if you're here, I just like to let you know to not be scared of art, because I know that there are a lot of people who would have such fears wherein their mind is telling them that no, art is not for you. You're very cognitive of a person, or you're very intellectual. So how can you be artistic or creative? Oh, that's just uh, um, a waste of time, or it can be a hobby, but it's not really going to help you. These are some fears and misbeliefs that we have around art, and also around who can practice art. And in my opinion, everybody can practice art. Everybody can pick up a paintbrush, a canvas, a piece of paper, or just a piece of paper and a pen, and create something that's not linear, or not something that we would consider as analytical. And that's creativity, and that's art as well. If you're somebody who's visited a art museum, I know that you can go and look at art and wonder, what does this artist mean? These are just scribbles and these are just random strokes. Why is this even an artwork? I don't understand it, right? And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to understand art. You don't have to decipher art unless you're a reviewer, but otherwise, you just have to experience it and enjoy it for yourself. And I think when you paint, or you sort of visit a gallery and look at paintings, it's 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 a form of looking at somebody else's perspective. It doesn't have to be your own. And you don't have to compare yourself, whether or not you can be that good of an artist or bad of an artist. If you're somebody who gets ticked off by abstract art, I know a few years ago I was talking to somebody I knew, and they were telling me their experience of going to a museum with their friend, and they said that, oh my god, there was just this one painting with just random yellow strokes. I don't know why people get paid for this. I don't know why people get millions and get their artwork put up in a big museum. How is this even possible? And I know that a lot of people think that way about art, especially abstract art, because it doesn't have any form, it doesn't have any structure, it doesn't have figures. So you might wonder, why does random strokes, like the painting behind me, which I have made, by the way, before you insult it, why does it why does it deserve to be in a museum, or why does it deserve to be paid for? And again, it's so hard to explain it unless and until you don't have a relationship with painting, or something that you've made through art, which is extremely intimate and personal. It's just a very intimate process, which is why I hope that you get to work with abstract art. Now, what is abstract art? I realize that we have diverted from the initial question. Apologies. Um, I think that abstract art is a way of expression. And there are many ways of expression, right? Like we write to express ourselves, we speak to express ourselves, we we play to express ourselves, we do so many other things, right? And abstract art is a form of expression that is very simple. You don't need preparation, you don't need too much thought to make abstract art, you don't need too much reflection either. But what you do need to make abstract art, in my opinion, again, there could be contrasting views, to which I'd say that's absolutely fine. That's your belief, and I respect that, but I respect mine as well. Uh, is that abstract art needs a person to let go of judgment about themselves, about their artistic process, about their ability to have a relationship with paints, with brushes, with canvas, with paper, and most importantly, with themselves. And that's the hardest part. It's not painting that's the hardest part. Let me just say that. It is believing that you can make abstract art and believing that what you make is an abstract artwork, which is the hardest part. It's not something that's merely a piece of trash or a piece of um, artwork that is made out of boredom or not knowing what to make. It's not like that. I'm sorry I used the word trash. I don't mean to be raw, but I do mean to be honest about it, because I know that many artists who are abstract artists or who like abstract art can go through criticism of what have you made? It's just a line, it's just a dash, it's just a dash, it's just a dot, right? And when you start working with abstract art, these are some thoughts and inhibitions that can come forward. Which is a hard place to be in. And trust me, you're not the only one who would feel this way. I felt it when I first started working with abstract art. Um, it was in 2022 or probably the beginning of 2023 when I discovered art. My mom handed me a newspaper where there was an advertisement of an art workshop, and it, it was an Indian traditional art form. It was not really abstract art, but I chose to go, and we ended up, I think, painting an elephant, if I'm not wrong. Um, and I really loved it. And at that point, I was going through a difficult emotional and physical health issue, and I still do have physical health challenges. And I realized that making that artwork, although it wasn't abstract art, but making that elephant was soothing to me. It was doing something to my nervous system. It was helping me feel more in my body. It was helping me separate um, what was mine and what was not mine in regards to energy, emotions, thoughts. And I felt that was quite liberating, because as somebody who is sensitive like me, or highly sensitive like me, um, I am prone to absorbing all types of energy and emotions because I have a porous aura and have to really protect myself. And at that point, I was not yet an experienced healer or energy worker as much as I am today. Uh, because of which it was very easy for external energy or emotions to get into my energy field and really bother me. But art was helping me. I realized that during that workshop, art was making me realize that not everything that I considered was mine, whether it was feelings of anger, resentment, sadness, hopelessness, helplessness, was not really mine. It was somebody else's, and it was just visiting my energy field, if you may so. And that made me realize, hey, what am I going to lose if I just began painting? I mean, I don't have to be good. I just have to paint, right? It's not that, I mean, at that point at least, I had plans to exhibit my work when I just started. I didn't want to paint for somebody else. I just wanted to paint for myself. So I did. And I remember painting for 3 hours a day, sitting with a piece of paper, a canvas paper. I didn't even start off with canvas boards. And I would just paint my emotions. I would paint how the physical health challenges were making me feel, my emotional health challenges were making me feel. And at that point, I was very new into entrepreneurship, and it was very mentally challenging to see my way forward, create a way forward for myself, and build something that was concrete. But art was helping me soothe. It was making me feel as though it's okay. It was making me feel as though, yes, problems do exist, but there is a tool like art that can also exist for us. And again, we don't have to be good at it like we have to be in our business or our career or our relationships. It's not demanding. Unless you're a part of a very orthodox art school and the teachers are very strict and they need a result to be a certain way, there's nobody marking us if we're doing it by ourselves, for ourselves. And this is the misbelief we live with when we fear art, that we have to be right while painting, that we have to make something to impress others, that we have to make something to make others accept us through our art, accept our art. But why? I don't get it. And I didn't get it even back then. And I remember after that, shortly after that, I realized I did not have the skills to understand how brushes work or palettes work. If you've seen an art palette, it's like a knife that helps you mix and use big amounts of thicker paste. And I wasn't confident with those skills. So I realized I needed to take a proper class. So I started going to an art teacher, and I was with her for a year. And she was somebody who specialized in different types of artwork. It was not just abstract art, it was fine art, it was ceramics, it was art with wheels, the pottery part, everything. And abstract art was just a part of it. And she taught me all the basics of art, and I've done a lot of fine artwork as well, but I did not enjoy it as much. And I always felt that there's so much lack of freedom while making fine art. And I don't mean to diss fine artists at all. It's a lot of hard work and it requires a lot of focus, and you have to be attentive and alert, because if you're not, otherwise you're just going to make wrong strokes and your art will not look as it's supposed to look. So I do respect fine artists. It's not that. It's just that for me, it felt very restrictive because I had so much going on within me. Like I had so many emotions, my body was in pain, and I needed like a space where I could just say whatever I wanted to say. And fine art was very limited for that. I would have to follow a line, a stroke, a color, a pattern. And I did not want that. My emotions did not want that. My body didn't want that. So then I started painting in my own way, even when my teacher would try to tell me to follow strokes. I started making my own thing. And she realized that at one point, and most of the time she was okay with it, but sometimes she would get pissed off and she'd be like, can you just follow the art narrative, if you may so. But what I mean to say here is that it's very natural if you feel as though you have a lot to share, your body has a lot to share. It's almost like, oh, I've stuffed in so much inside me. How do I share this? Where does it go, right? Where do I let it go as well? You can't really find a person and vent out everything your physical body wants to share. Sometimes we don't even know what it is. Like, we have no clue if our leg is paining, what is it that our leg wants to tell us? If our head is paining, what is it that our head wants to tell us? Especially if it's been for years, for people who've been living with chronic ailments. What is it that our systems, our immune system, our nervous system, our lymphatic system, our circulatory system, what are they trying to tell us? It's so hard. And I'm saying that because I have worked a lot on my body. And when I mean my body, understanding my body, listening to it, you learned a lot of techniques, tools, processes, walked a lot of spiritual paths. But I didn't find something like abstract art does to the body and mind. And again, I'm not trying to diss any other process or path, but abstract art is really unique as a healing tool. When you sit with paint and a piece of paper, let's not even go to the canvas. I didn't for months when I just started, by the way. If you do, that's great, but if you don't, that's fine. Nobody's forcing you. You shouldn't force yourself either. And I think that's another thing with abstract art. The motto for abstract artists should be don't force yourself. Because that's when you'll make true abstract art that belongs to you, that feels like you. So, my friend, if you are somebody, hi Siddhi Sengar, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Thank you for joining me today. Please do comment, share a comment if you're an artist, if you're going through a physical or a emotional health challenge, and we can talk about it if we have some time. My name is Pranita Rao. Let's get back to the live stream and the topic for today, which is abstract art and how it can help us. So, coming back to my journey and why I want to share that with you is that when I was struggling with my physical health issue and my emotional health issue, abstract art really came to my aid. It made me realize that I was not alone. And then I started painting. Not for an hour, not for 2, but 3 hours straight every day. And then I realized the emotions that were stuck in my physical body were leaving. I realized that the emotions that I was holding on to, my inner child was holding on to, were leaving. So, my friend, I encourage you, if you're somebody who's going through a physical or an emotional health issue, sit with a piece of paper, get some paints, get some colored pens if that's less scary for you, and start creating what your body is trying to tell you, or what your mind or your inner child is trying to tell you. And in the beginning, it might feel very daunting. It can feel as though you don't know what to do with this piece of paper, with these colored pens or paints. But the key there is to trust that you know how to follow your body. When we came onto this planet, right, as babies, we would cry when we were hungry. We would call on our parents with signals, right? So why can't we trust that our body and mind will tell us what to paint as adults? And I know it can be difficult because being a baby is an experience of its own, where We don't have barriers as adults do, barriers of fear, judgment. So babies can ask for what they want, what they truly want, what they feel, they express it. Most of them do, at least. So if you feel as though your mind, your cognitive barriers, your emotional barriers, your trauma has been affecting you and it's also showing up in your art or is inhibiting you to make art, ask yourself to be a baby. Ask yourself, what would me, the baby, paint? What can I share with this canvas if I treated it as my parent? And if I was a newborn baby and I wanted to be nourished, my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts wanted to be nourished, and see what comes out. Again, the key here is not to judge it. It could be a line, a dash, a dot, or just splatter of paint. Doesn't matter. You're not being marked, are you? Unless you're being marked, then I would sort of support your fear. But otherwise, there's no need for it. It's unnecessary, right? And I know that a lot of people by now might have heard about art therapy and how art therapy benefits one's emotional wellness, mental health. And I'm not trying to tell you all that what I'm suggesting is art therapy, because art therapy includes a lot of psychometrics and psychotherapy. I'm just saying that you express yourself to a piece of paper or canvas. You express yourself so that you can feel as though you're heard, not by a human, but by yourself. And sometimes that's most important, to hear your own self. Because humans can guess or can assume, presume, intuit even as to what's right for us, what's happening with us. But it is really our own selves who can show us the reflection and show us what have we been feeling all this while. Especially if you have a physical health issue and you sit with a piece of canvas or a paper and you start painting, and then you realize that I've been holding on to this pain for so long, or this emotion for so long, and it's coming out now in the canvas, on the paper. It'll give you a hint as to what your body is trying to tell you through that chronic illness, through that physical pain. What is it reminding you of? What is it trying to tell you that you're neglecting? That your canvas can tell you, your paints can tell you, your brushes can tell you, the way you paint can tell you. And I truly believe that what we paint is an answer for something. It might not be for the question that you're asking, but it would be for something. Otherwise, it would not come out. And many times as artists, I've seen that, and this is not just beginners, even really experienced artists can imitate other artists thinking that, oh, this artist is so great, right? This artist makes beautiful paintings. Amazing. He or she knows how brushwork works, or how technique works, or how to make a painting stand out. So I will go and follow this artist. I will go and copy this painting. I will make this exact painting and try to feel better about my physical health or emotional health. I'm sorry about the dog barking, by the way. And when we do that, right, imitate other artists, we can feel a healing effect that happens automatically with art. But what we lose out on is understanding our body and emotions. And when we are trying to paint to understand our body and emotions, would it help if we made a painting that is done by somebody else? Because somebody else's painting is a reflection of what they are going through in their body and minds, not necessarily what you are going through. So, my friend, I encourage you. I encourage you to believe that you can be a painter for yourself, if not the world, and believe that your body and mind are waiting for you to paint so that you understand what is it that it wants to express with you solely before you can share that with the world. I hope that in the past 26 minutes you've had an insight into what art is, what abstract art is, and what it can do for you, especially if you're going through a physical health challenge. I'm sure if you're watching this, you already know that all physical health challenges are connected to emotions in some way. Maybe not all, but some are, definitely. Our traumas, our beliefs, right? And I have seen art work wonders for me. And let me just warn you, I don't mean that art or abstract art can change your reality with your physical health issues or emotional health issues in a day. It can take years, or it could take a few months. But what it does is provides you with a tool and space that you can access at any time, any place. But most importantly, with the freedom that you require and deserve. And I have a degree in dentistry, so I can tell you this, that when I used to treat patients, most of them would feel so constricted because of how the disease would affect their freedom. It's freedom of choice, emotion, thought, how it affects their life. A disease definitely affects a person's freedom, right? Whether it's an emotional health problem or physical health problem. But you can surpass that through art. You can make art to get the freedom that an emotional or physical health problem takes away from you. Wouldn't you want that? I surely wanted that when I was in pain and hurting. I felt that everything was taken away from me. And I felt that I had no freedom in life, and it was infuriating. And I kept talking about it to friends, family members, coaches, and I realized that wasn't helping either. And when I started making abstract art, I realized it wasn't for them to hear me. It was for me to hear myself. It was for me to hear my body and what my emotions were telling me. And it does help when it's colorful and beautiful. And it's you. So if you're somebody who's looking to explore yourself in a colorful manner, why not pick up a canvas sheet or a paper and use paints? Or just colored pens, colored pencils, or just a black pen or a red pen or a blue pen and a piece of paper. The non-negotiable here is you, my friend. Everything else can be a part of your current and daily routines. A notepad, a scribble on your phone, the apps, still art, still abstract art, still you expressing yourself. I hope this streaming was helpful for you, And I hope that you were able to recognize that A, art exists for everybody, not just for artists. B, that art can be used as a healing tool, as a tool to listen to yourself before you can speak with others, to consult yourself, validate yourself, assure yourself before you can do that with others. And thirdly, that you don't have to be great at art, good at art to paint. And that art and abstract art can provide you with the freedom that problems usually take away from us. And lastly, that our emotions and our physical body need a space to go, to be heard by you. And art can be that space. So, I hope that after this streaming, you get to spend some time with yourself, reflect on what we've conversed about, and make an art for yourself. And if you do, please do share it in the comment section below. I'd love to see what you've made for yourself. And if you feel as though you need support with your physical health challenges, emotional health challenges, if you're somebody who also identifies as a highly sensitive person, a sensitive person like me, is an artist, and need a coach, you can use the link in my bio to book an appointment with me so that we can provide you with the support that you deserve. I work with tools like art, abstract art, Reiki, energy healing, angels to support individuals going through challenges and support individuals specifically who are eager to make a difference for themselves, eager to invest in themselves through energy, effort, money, but most importantly, with a sense of self-belief that they can overcome their problems. My name is Pranita Rao, and I'm so delighted to be here talking to you. If you found this video helpful, please like and share this video when it's converted into a video and upload it to my channel, and also subscribe to my channel. I'd be going live every day from 9 to 9:30 p.m. IST the whole of March 2026 with topics like sensitivity, high sensitivity, art, Reiki, angels, energy healing. And if any of them interest you, please do join me at 9 p.m. sharp. And I hope that you can get the maximum amount of benefit through these live streamings. Once again, if you need coaching support, please visit my bio of this channel and book an appointment. Please feel free to visit my platforms where I also blog. I have a shop, there are courses, many resources for you to feel supported by. The links for all of them are also in my bio. I hope you have a great day ahead. If you're in India, a great night ahead. And I hope you take care. Bye.